Alright, let's just get right into it. We are getting a Game 7. The Celtics might actually become the first team to come back down 0-3. This game started off really physical. There was a couple of plays that were fouls, but the refs were letting them play. The Heat put Caleb Martin in the starting lineup for Kevin Love, and that decision immediately paid off. He had a nice drive to the rim, and another possession, he had a nice pull-up jumper over Al Horford. Overall, he was great in the first quarter. The Heat, unlike in Game 5, came out with a lot of energy. Jaylen Brown could not miss early. He was making tough pull-up jumpers and having nice drives to the rim. There was a possession. He had an isolation on Bam, did a couple of dribbles before making the pull-up jumper, even though Bam got a great contest. By the middle of the first quarter, you could tell this game was probably going to go down to the wire. To start the second quarter, the Heat switched to playing a zone, which they've done a lot in the second quarter of every game this series. Bam and Jimmy Butler were struggling early, more so Jimmy than Bam, but the Heat were able to stay in the game because the supporting cast was playing good, besides Kyle Lowry. Jimmy was struggling because the Celtics had Tatum mainly guarding him, and anytime Jimmy was in the post and he would take a dribble, they would immediately send a double. There was a possession, Tatum had an isolation on Jimmy, then he turned to his right and made this incredibly tough fadeaway, even though Jimmy had a great contest. There was a stretch from like the 7-minute mark of the second quarter to 4 minutes and 50 seconds mark where the Celtics went on a 10-2 run. That just took the life out the Heat crowd. Tatum did a great job getting to the line, having 11 attempts from there in the first half. Jaylen Brown cooled off after his hot start and picked up his fourth foul early in the third quarter, which forced him to sit for a few minutes. The Celtics committed a lot of fouls in like the first 2 minutes of the third quarter, which allowed the Heat to get into the bonus. After Brown got his fourth foul, the Celtics had him guard Max Strus, and surprisingly, the Heat didn't try to force him to switch on to Jimmy at all. By having Strus set a ball screen to force Brown to switch to Jimmy, the third quarter in general was a struggle fest with both teams struggling to score. In the fourth quarter, the Heat took the lead after Duncan Robinson drove to the rim and missed, then Jimmy was able to tip it in. A couple of possessions later, Bam fouled Jaylen Brown and he goaltended on the play and got a technical foul, which was a 4-point swing for the Celtics. Then the next possession, Al Horford had this crazy block on Bam, which led to Brown getting fouled in transition by Gabe Vincent. And Brown then made both shots from the line. Duncan Robinson had a stretch where he had made 3 shots in a row. Then there was 2 possessions in a row where the first possession, Derek White hit a shot from deep in transition at the top of the key. Then the next possession, Marcus Smart drove to the rim, got fouled by Duncan Robinson and got the and one, which put the Celtics up 10 points. The last few minutes of this game was insane. The Heat, after they went down 10, then went on a 12-3 run. Then Duncan Robinson missed 2 open shots from deep. Then Al Horford fouls Jimmy from deep and he makes all 3 shots from the line. And it seemed like the Heat had the win in the bag and Jimmy had redeemed himself for his terrible play for majority of this game. Then Derek White tipped it in after Marcus Smart missed the shot from deep, and I thought White didn't get it off in time. And then I saw the replay. He barely got it off. He got it off with 0.1 seconds left on the clock. I'm still in shock from this game, and now we are getting a Game 7. And I don't know if you could tell, I'm excited for this Game 7. And this Game 7 is going to be insane. I think the Celtics will win Game 7. They have all the momentum right now. They won this game even though they shot terrible from deep, and I think the way the Heat lost this game will be too much of a mental hurdle for them to overcome.